Hello, it is April 21st, 2023. We're gonna go for a quick walk today. Take a look around here by the Mississippi River again. Look at the barking dog. So yeah, the Riverside Road, I don't know what the actual title of it is, maybe River Parkway or something, here is closed because of the extreme flooding we're getting from the Mississippi River here. I was actually planning to walk all the way up to Bohemian Flats. We'll actually drive to Bohemian Flats, but the road was flooded, so I stopped here. Maybe we'll walk up that way. This is Interstate 94 here, connecting east-west route through the state of Minnesota. Looking to the west towards St. Paul right now. Let's try to walk around this puddle. Over there is University of Minnesota, those buildings ahead. I don't know if you can see across the river there. I'll try to zoom in. With the walking trail on that side is underwater. Let's zoom back out. Digital zoom is ugly. So this is called Annie Young Meadow, the sign there says. Have to look that up when I get home to get my bearings. But I do see University of Minnesota ahead, and I know that if I continue up this road, we'll get to Bohemian Flats. Interstate traffic going over there. We have all this water coming through the river. A year ago we were in such a heavy drought. It's great that we got all this water and snow this winter. I think yesterday Duluth, which is a city in Minnesota here, passed its record for snowiest year on record. I think the previous record was held in 1995, if I remember correctly. And then they passed that by a fraction of an inch with a little bit of snow they got yesterday. But all the snow throughout the state melting off, and all the rain that we've gotten recently flowing into our rivers, and they are thriving. Maybe thriving a little too much. Considering walking over to, or driving over to Minnehaha Falls after this. I'm recording a quick video over there just to see what the flow is like over there. Last summer, the waterfall had gone to a complete stop, where there's no more flow whatsoever. A couple months ago, I went for a walk around there and recorded it, and that was in the winter when the waterfall was completely frozen over, which is always kind of cool to check out. Not many places you can see a completely frozen waterfall. Stairway down straight into the river. Wonder if this is passable. See up ahead, the river is flooding into the street over the trail. All right, we'll see if there's a way to get around it. Haven't looked into it, but I'm interested to see what sort of flooding they're having over in Stillwater on the, I think, St. Croix River it is over there. There was a lot of talk recently about the preparation they were going to do, because they're anticipating quite a bit of flooding this spring. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get around this. We'll see. Ahead you can see this bridge that connects the east and west bank portions of the University of Minnesota campus. It's got the University of Minnesota M there and the colors on the bridge. Over here I believe is the main portion. I think there's a hospital over there. There's a hospital over here too. The other side. I don't know if I want to do this. So up there under that bridge is where I was planning on going today. Go check out an area called Bohemian Flats. was a place where a lot of the Bohemian immigrants were living about a century ago. And apparently it is flooded, like it is here. In the summer, there's the typical Mississippi River riverboat that you'd think of, which is that white riverboat with the big red wheel on the back, coming up and down the river. Typically parked up there, but that whole area is underwater right now. Yeah, this is a bad idea. I don't know what I'm doing here. Actually, we're not doing too bad so far. But that could be famous last words. Lots of mud. Pretty gross. But it's looking more and more like we can make it. Made it all the way to here. I'm probably gonna have to step on that brick. It's the last. We made it! Yay! Say pretty much any more rise in the water level and that becomes impassable. The little dock and everything is still out there. wonder what the event is that they're planning on closing the road for on April 29th. And what they're gonna do if that river is still flooded. Maybe some sort of run or bike ride or something, but you can't really have a big event on there right now. Send your location. Come back. I can't sleep at all. Effing cold. Some artwork written on the walls here. Plan B. So you can see straight ahead here the 11 residential tower. This whole walk, it's been sticking out. And you think about how much that's changed the view here. And that recently came up, I think, opened up last spring. So short time ago, things would have looked different. As developers bring more and more to the city, the skyline will change and the views in our walks will look different. Well, if you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching, walking with me. Hope you're enjoying the views today. Looks like they're preparing this little garden area here. Maybe for a tree sale or something. University of Minnesota campus over there. See the bus traffic going across the bridge. The top level is pedestrian traffic, which I do plan to show a walk of someday. You can see the light rail going underneath it. Green line. Connecting from downtown Minneapolis all the way to downtown St. Paul. Target Field to Excel Center. Which there are games at both of those today. Minnesota Wild have a playoff game against the Dallas Stars. And the Minnesota Twins are playing a baseball game against the Washington Nationals, I think I was told at lunch today. And then the Timberwolves have a playoff game tonight against the Denver Nuggets. So a lot of action in Minneapolis and St. Paul today for the sports fans. More trees, safer streets. I wonder if this is part of like the tree sale type thing. They have all these trees fenced in. And it looks on that side like there might be planting them. Interesting. Yeah, not really sure what's going on here. It is not a community garden like I initially said. Once again, feeding you all very inaccurate information, like I love to do. I think it's City of Minneapolis that does what is called a tree trust, or a tree lottery every year, which actually I won the lottery a few years back. Oh, gross, there's all sorts of trash and stuff underneath here. Need to get a cleanup day out and get that taken care of. All kinds of shoes and stuff. Very interesting. Wonder what's going on there. Is that some like University of Minnesota thing where they throw shoes off the bridge for some reason? But there is a oddly large amount of shoes right there underneath the bridge here connecting the east and west bank of the University of Minnesota campuses. Yeah, so the tree lottery that I was talking about there is something that they put on every year to try to encourage people in the city to plant more trees. You can get a young growth tree for, I think it's either $25 or $75, which is cheaper than they'd be without it. And just a cool way of making that a little more accessible to people within the city. Fun program. It's called the Minneapolis Tree Library. Not Tree Library, Tree Lottery. Got this guy picking up mulch. West River Parkway. Heading to Bohemian Flats Park. National route, Great River Road, Minnesota. The riverboat on there. Sure enough. You are here. Bohemian Flats, wedged between the Mississippi River and the steep river bluffs, the isolated but legendary district known as Bohemian Flats flourished for nearly 70 years. As much as I would love to read you all the entire sign right there, which we appreciate being written, I don't want to bore anybody. I'd love to find a way to get a clear enough picture to where I could set it up to where you could pause it if that was something you were interested in, and then read it, but probably not quite clear enough on here. This is a map of Minneapolis. The ground rounds. I think a large part of the Minneapolis Marathon involves that route. So this is where we were yesterday, the Stone Arch Bridge, where we were watching the falls here and the locks. And then we are right down here around the corner. Not sure how far up we'll go today. And there's that sign again. We've got something big floating down the river here. What are we looking at? Yeah, that digital zoom is not it. Yeah, it looks like a bunch of sticks or something. Some debris floating downstream. Riverview, I think this complex, it says Riverview. I believe that's an apartment complex. Here's that riverboat I was speaking of earlier. You can, I believe, pay for a ride during the summer and they'll take you around in the historic Mississippi riverboats, but it is, as you can see, very flooded right now. Let's see how close we can get. I'm not going swimming. Yeah, I said I had a red wheel on the back. The paddles are red, but the wheel itself is not. This is the Minneapolis Queen. Yeah, it's not any clearer with that zoom for me. Yeah, give it a few weeks, a month or so, water will reside, and then it will recede, and then it'll be much nicer out here. Well, not that it's not nice today, but we'll be able to enjoy the park in a different way. These guys enjoying their day. Volleyball courts over here. I think we have an eagle flying over the Mississippi River. Probably looks like a little speck here, but from my view here, it looks very cool. Living rooftop there. The Mississippi paddle share, Mississippi River paddle share. Pick up your kayak here, so there probably will be kayaks locked up there for rent. And go kayak about the river when conditions are much better. That could be a fun video. Canoeing on the Mississippi River. Gorgeous day as the sun starts to peek out of the clouds a little bit. Looking forward to all these dead trees starting to bud. Well, not dead, but dormant trees starting to bud here in the coming weeks and months, and getting that beautiful greenery back after the long, cold Minnesota winter. Is this the train bridge, I want to say? No. Pedestrian bridge? I'm not sure. So I haven't spent a ton of time around University of Minnesota and the campuses there. So I don't know a ton about this area, but we can explore it together in the coming months. It looks like a pedestrian bridge. Walk it, baby. So this is the 35W up ahead. The closer bridge is a regular street bridge, but high traffic connecting East and West Bank. And then in the distance you can see the 35W bridge, which unfortunately famously collapsed a few years back. I want to say 10, 12 years ago, something like that. Yeah, pretty scary stuff. It was midsummer. water coming through here. Treacherous. It's starting to, I don't want to say hail, snow a little bit, rain. Somewhere between snow and hail. Oh, a nice lightly hailing. Lovely spring day in Minneapolis. See, that's what I get for saying it was a beautiful day like 2 minutes ago. Minneapolis is like, haha, I got you. You thought it was nice? I'm gonna dump something nasty on you. But I'll go under this bridge. So yeah, there's the 35W bridge right here, connecting all the way from, is it San Antonio or Austin? All the way from, I know, Texas, all the way up through Minnesota. Just a massive thoroughfare in the United States. Let's see what's down here. Maybe we're not supposed to be here, maybe we are. See that trail? Those stairs, or that path looks pretty public. It doesn't look like somewhere that they're actively discouraging us from going. Here I am going under the bridge that collapsed a few years back. But hey, what are the odds that it happens twice? Lower St. Anthony Falls Lock and Dam, Upper Mississippi, 9-foot navigation project. Interesting. There's a restricted area up there. We have the locks here. Can't quite see very well from this location, but hey, we're walking somewhere new, we're checking somewhere else out. Enjoying every day. This is kind of a nice little spot. I do enjoy these views of the river and the city, and you can see the Stone Arch Bridge a little bit there. And this bridge lights up at night. They put it up in different colors, so if there's some sort of notable day, like You know, Christmas is probably red and green, and 4th of July it's red, white, and blue. And if the soccer team's playing a big game, they put it blue for them, purple for the Vikings, all that good stuff. Lower St. Anthony Falls Lock and Dam. That's what that was. Unfortunately, large amounts of trash right here. People throwing stuff out their windows on the highway likely, or stuff falling out of cars and then getting pushed to the side of the road and then pushed off by the snowplow. I'm not sure. I'd like to think people aren't just throwing trash out the window off the highway, but fortunately it happens. Nice clouds there. So maybe we'll go to the base of 1111 or so and then turn back. So check out the new residential tower 11. Head back towards Bohemian Flats. Not to be confused with Bohemian Grove in Northern California, which is where all the presidents and elites or whatever go for their secret society in the woods every year. Difficult to find a lot of information on that, because if you're going to be a waiter or a server at that place, they make you sign a non-disclosure agreement. Can't really talk about who you saw, what they said. Very interesting place though. Bohemian Grove. It's worth a Google. Bing. Internet search, I guess. We're trying not to brand it. Or we can just say Google. Another pretty new building right here behind the Red Cross there. Pretty large apartment complex there. I'm not sure if it's apartments or condos, but another new development that came up over the past decade or so. just to fit more people into this wonderful city. Center Point Energy. My guess would be there's some sort of hydroelectric power plant or something in this area for them to have this sort of space right here. So imagine that property would be in high demand. Yeah, this is the beautiful 1111 on 1111 Parkway. The building is called 11, which, you know, many people associate 1111, make a wish. Good luck with that number. A very cool new building just opened last year. I want to say it is one of the taller residential structures on the Mississippi River, if not the tallest on the river itself. But very cool building, and I think they're looking for a tenant to move into a restaurant in the building, which will be a cool spot to check out. But yeah, if you look up 11 Minneapolis on YouTube, you can see some of the views from some of these condos, and absolutely gorgeous views of the city, of the river area. 1111 West Wiva Parkway. River. I can't say it. 1111 West River Parkway. There we go. The gimbal battery just died, so I'll probably clip out that portion of the video there. And then we're going to turn back. So you keep going ahead here, and you'll see Guthrie Theater there in blue, Gold Medal Flower, and the it's Mill Ruins Lofts. Mill Ruins Park here, Gold Medal Park, which we will check out next week. So I got this new gimbal a couple weeks back, and it is struggling. There we go. I'm struggling to figure out how to get it to look up like this. I think that's what caused it to shut off a minute ago. That's why there's a cutout portion in this video. Yeah, still learning how to use this one. The old gimbal I had broke on the way to Mexico. You see that Cancun walking video, walking around that resort. That was actually my wife recording it because she went on a trip to Mexico and was willing to show around the area for the YouTube channel. I think she did a great job, especially not having a gimbal or anything to stabilize it. Probably more stable than some of the videos I shoot with this. Yeah, here we are, 1111, using our newish gimbal. And we're gonna start walking back south on the Mississippi West River Parkway. Get back towards my car. And maybe I'll make it in time for the meeting I have. A little over an hour here. I don't know, we'll see. I don't like to be late. I'll find a way to get back. Yeah, lots of nice new complexes coming up. So a bigger apartment building here, and then Obviously the new high-rise here, 11. You can look around the city and there's another 40-story tower coming up there on Washington that we were walking by yesterday. North Loop Green that we've walked by a couple times, I believe it's 39. And then the building that's going to be on site of the Wells Fargo Operations Center that's getting torn down, which is that big glass structure you can see in a few of the videos I've recorded. That's set to come down here in the next few months. And then they'll start construction on a new mixed-use tower there. So a lot of demand for housing here in the city. Just very eager to see what things look like in 6 months, in a year, in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line. Come back and see how much things have changed. That is of the assumption that YouTube still exists and is still hosting these videos. But yeah, we don't know what the world will look like in 10 years or what the internet will be like in 10 years or what we'll have access to or won't have access to. Let's take one last look at downtown Minneapolis and 11 here. We're about 50 minutes into the video, which means my phone is probably getting close to low on battery. It's mid-40s today, so the battery should probably last maybe another 20-30 minutes, we'll see. But we're getting close, so if the phone does cut out and my phone battery dies, thank you for watching. Thank you for walking with me. Thanks for listening if you listened. Well, I guess if you weren't listening, you'd have it on mute and you wouldn't hear me right now, would you? But yeah, I appreciate you watching the videos, being a part of the community. Say hi in the comments. Like this video if you like the video. Don't like it if you don't. Subscribe if you like what you're watching, and I'll try to keep making more and keep documenting this beautiful world that we get to live in. There's always something interesting outside somewhere. Sounds like I'm cutting off the video, but we're gonna keep going. Just wanted to drop that in case we do get cut out. Wanted you to know I appreciate you, and that as much as I enjoy going out, and I do think it's important for myself to be doing these walks and going out and taking in this beautiful world around me. Obviously, it makes it so much cooler when you do something and you work towards something and other people are liking and appreciating it too. Gotta love that support. Yeah, originally I started the channel because I was watching some of these videos in other cities and I thought, wow, I would talk to my wife and she would talk about how much different things looked in Minneapolis than it did 10, 15 years ago when she was living here before we moved here. And man, it'd be interesting to see what that was like. I mean, you know, you can see photos and historical images, which we love and appreciate, but having that ability to have that immersive experience where you're walking through something and you can see what it was actually like on video, I think is very valuable. And I saw a couple people making similar videos here in the area, and I thought, they're making them, why don't I try it too? So I can have those to look back on. Naturally, YouTube is a great way to host things like that. So I started hosting them on here. Here we are, about a year later. About 500 people subscribing on the channel, which I appreciate every one of. I think thousands and thousands of views over the year, which I appreciate every one of. Yeah, it's been a great year for me. So it doesn't look like there are any people on this bridge or cars. I was speculating earlier that it was once a train bridge, but I can see a road closed sign, so that would probably explain why there's nobody on it. You can see the flooding on the other side of the river there. Very interested to see what this summer, what this spring looks like. If we have a really wet spring, what that means for the state of Minnesota moving south as the river continues down into the Gulf of Mexico. And then also what that means for, you know, rivers throughout the country. Here in the US, we've had really bad drought the last few years. All sorts of concerns around Colorado River and Lake Mead. Interested to follow through and see what becomes of that this year. Hopefully all the snow we got this winter can put us in the right direction. For a nice walk. Coming back into Bohemian Flats here. See, I prefer to do videos where I either walk in a loop or walk somewhere where I can take a bus back or a train back, so it's not just walking a route and then walking the same route back. But with this trail, I'll try to mix it up on the way back as much as possible, but gonna be seeing a lot of similar stuff. If you make it through to the end, you're a real one. A real Walking Minnesota viewer. Whatever that means. The Minneapolis Queen, providing daily public cruises and private charters since 1985 by Paradise Charter Cruises. Geese. We're gonna go around the little cruises building. Lots of people out taking their picture by the river. Maybe we'll have to record a video on the on one of these cruises someday this summer. That could be fun. I'd say I know my kids would watch it, but if I went on that, they'd probably want to be with me. water is typically well below that gate. You can see that is about 3/4 halfway submerged in some places. Nearly completely submerged further up ahead in some spots. Riding their bike across the bridge up there. Really great biking culture here in Minneapolis. Very bikeable city. And efforts are definitely being made to make the streets safer for cyclists. And for everybody, but specifically cyclists. Train going overhead. This green line. Which I haven't ridden light rail here in Minneapolis in a while. I've ridden the bus a bit, but not the light rail. Heard mixed reviews. Kind of a nice shot here under the bridge, and I do not want to say the name of that building because I can't recall. I want to say Wiseman, but I'm not sure that's correct. It's either a museum or building as part of the university. One of the more famous structures here in Minneapolis. I think depends on what you define as famous, but I think it is more renowned, notable, with a very cool building that we'll have to go check out from a closer view someday. I think it's a museum, but can you imagine taking classes in such a cool building? With these views, professors giving you a lecture there. You got this beautiful view of the river out the window. Easy to lose focus. But yeah, if you know what that building is, let me know in the comments. Tell me all about it. I'll certainly look it up at some point before I go over there, because I do like to have a little bit of information when I'm walking in here. Oh, this is muddy. I do like to have a little information so that I can share little tidbits or just know more about when I'm walking around. See, I figured these were being put here to be picked up by people to go plant in their houses or yards or whatever, but they're covered in mulch. I guess since it's been getting so cold at night, they're probably mulching some of these ones to protect them from the elements. Because we have been getting freezes overnight still. That could be what's going on there. And then eventually people will be able to come pick these up. Potentially. I don't know, just making guesses here. But those look like trees that are for sale. Let's see, we got the West Bank over here. I think Cedar Riverside kind of area it is. Which I did say I would like to go for a walk in someday and record and document. I know someone had asked me to in the comments, so if you're watching this video, I have not forgotten. I'm planning on it. I do appreciate all of the requests for walks. I've gotten a couple different ones in comments and emails. And always like your ideas, like knowing what you like to see or looking to see. And I like being able to show you. Getting some more light snow here. I don't know if that's light snow or light hail. Same type of thing as before. A little more frozen than snow. Not quite as light as hail typically is. Or sorry, not quite as heavy as hail typically is. University of Minnesota East Bank. Whatever we're gonna call this coming down, it is not too bad. Not wet enough to be super bothersome or heavy enough to be that much of a nuisance. Looks like another park across the river there. And that's probably what connects to that trail that we saw earlier. A little raised trail that was underwater. Park patrol over here. Hopefully they don't come stop me for walking on the closed trail. So you look at how tall these are. The rail there. And you can see how deep that water is in the Mississippi River up ahead. It is not only deep, but flowing pretty dangerously fast. Could pull you downstream pretty quickly. There we go, we just got the phone low battery reminder. Yeah, that battery is going to die soon. We'll see if we can make it back to where we started. If it doesn't, thanks again for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for walking with me. Feel so inclined, please like, subscribe, and comment on the video. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you have thoughts on, or questions about, or comments on. Love to talk with you. I also do have an email address that I made for the channel, which you can reach me at, walkingminnesota@gmail.com. You can find that in the video description. If you don't like to publicly comment. All feedback is appreciated. I feel like the walk out was a little easier than this walk back. It's still fairly manageable. Good for these trees here to be taking in that much water. So I did say earlier in the video when I was in this spot, I was considering going to see this majestic waterfall. Made me think of it. I was thinking of going to go record Minnehaha Falls in its current state, just to share what kind of flow it's getting down there. And maybe I can do that tomorrow, but it is not looking like I'm gonna have time today, because I have a meeting with some classmates of mine, and then after that, got some other stuff going on tonight. But maybe in the coming days. So you can enjoy this runoff waterfall. For the time being. Across the river you have the Masonic Cancer Research Building. Yeah, I just got a notification that the cell phone battery is at 10%, which means